Hey, there we are.
How's it going, guys?
We're back.
It's been a fair minute, right?
It's been 4 or 5 weeks, actually.
Has it been that long?
I think.
I don't know what time is anymore.
It was the week before you had your kiddo.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been...
Or maybe the week of, I guess.
It's been 4 weeks then,
Yeah.
I think.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks.
I didn't trust you.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. Thought we'd drop in tonight and give you guys a quick update on what's going on and where we're at with all the remodeling here and the things that we're doing and the behind the scenes stuff and being a new dad and all that good stuff. And meanwhile, we're going to drink because being a new dad and all that good stuff. So
yeah, let us know what you're having tonight, what you're relaxing with, what you're savoring. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking this Auchentoshan,
All right.
which is the American Oak. We did that with Paul Stanley, right?
Stanworth.
I always
Close.
I do that every
Very
time.
close.
I want it to be Paul Stanley.
They're both super cool. One's harder to get.
Yeah, one's a lot harder to get a hold of. But hey, Tyler. Paul Stanworth, and we did a live interview with him over the pond, and and I think that's up on Patreon.
You know, I've been seeing Auchentoshan quite a bit now at liquor stores pop up, and I believe that we paid I think $50 or $60 a bottle for this, and that's what I'm seeing it go for. But in Britain, Paul said that he paid like $20 for it.
Quite a bit less.
Like $20. It's like our Johnny Walker.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a Johnny Walker
but
Scotch
it's
over there.
fancy pants over here.
Yeah.
So I just poured myself a little glass of Balcones Rye, 100 proof.
Yeah. Well, I also have some Rev Honey here that I dumped some gin in, so that's what I pre-gamed with.
I think that's like, how does that work when you? Is this like a Red Bull and vodka thing?
You
just pour it in.
Just pour it in.
That's like a Red Bull and vodka thing, where it's like energy drink.
Vodka don't add nothing but alcohol. It wasn't that
So how's the juniper with the Rev Honey berry?
Originally I said I put too much gin in my Rev Honey. What really matters is I didn't have enough Rev Honey for the gin. I think I didn't have enough Rev Honey. There wasn't too much gin.
Let's see. Jared's having a Manhattan with Rittenhouse.
Well, I think most of Manhattan. I've seen his ingredients. I think he's missing stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's making kind of half-assed Manhattan. It's like, what's the town right next to Manhattan? Is that Jersey?
Yeah.
I think he's having jerseys.
I like that. That's a new one. It's fantastic.
So. Well, let's see. Who was it just popped up there?
All right, man.
Yeah, no, I think he commented on a video on YouTube.
I'm just gonna jump right in.
Jen should be making a comeback. Jen is amazing.
Yeah. So I just got back from a fishing trip down at Buck Creek near the Arkansas.
Are you
Missouri.
saying Butt or Buck?
Buck Creek.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was down there at Butt Creek, and I just there.
It's pretty close. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing. So John Dillon from the Ozark Mountain Daredevils was there.
I've met John.
Yeah, and I chatted with him quite a bit about his gin, the Ozark Mountain Daredevils gin.
Which, incidentally, is what's in my Rev Honey.
Yeah, and so he was talking, and he thinks the same thing. This is the long way of getting around to say he thinks that gin's making a comeback too.
It is.
And I think, I totally agree. It's
so I got
sort of a trendy
I've got
deal
2
right
points
now.
on that. One, Rev Honey is better without gin, and Daredevil's gin doesn't need Rev Honey. So
that totally
what
makes
I
sense.
did is probably not advisable. It probably should have been vodka. 2, I went to Walmart the other day to get some gin. Our local Walmart, not a single bottle of gin on the shelf.
Do you feel like whiskey's becoming a bit of a bro drink? Like it's being tainted by the bearded whiskey snobs? I mean, I love whiskey. I'm obviously not gonna stop drinking it, but like, do you think that's why gin and tequila, I think, also maybe making a swing?
I don't know. I mean, I would think. I don't know. Tequila. I want to just take complete credit for bringing tequila back. But
yeah, it's us.
It's always us. No, tequila. I just think that was something that during COVID time, probably the same with gin. During COVID, people was like bored of just sitting there going, I guess I'll drink Jack Daniels, and started
trying new
reaching
stuff.
out and trying some new things, probably hitting YouTube channels and mixology channels, stuff like that, and start to try different stuff. I mean, the first time I had gin, I hated it. The first time I had a martini, you bought me, and I absolutely, it took 2 beers to chug that damn thing down. And now it's one of my favorite drinks, hands down.
Yeah, and we're gonna open a gin here in a minute.
We are, as a matter of
from
fact.
one of our favorite distilleries. We have not had this. I say one of our favorites.
Well, I was going to say it's not that it's our favorite distillery. It's just that we've had 2 different things out of the 3 things they give us, and both of them has been awesome.
and very
So
much
they're
under
highly
the
rated.
under the table in terms of like, not a lot of pomp and circumstance about their stuff. It doesn't look like it would be like
but man, I
that good. But
can't
it's fantastic.
recommend it enough.
Yeah.
They've done such a phenomenal job with it.
We have some articles to get to. We have some stuff to talk about the show and
We got
everything that's
some
been
stuff to
coming.
drink.
But my beer glass is empty, and I've been staring at that crowler that we brought on the show.
All right.
Let's get on to this.
I'll hold it up there. If you'll give,
So-
do you have any information?
No, I have a banner.
All right.
I think.
That's right in the middle of what I'm
So this is out of Knoxville, is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
No, you didn't do a live from this one, right? Hexagon's not. Did you?
That was the last place I was at.
Oh, with the group, with a table full of
Yeah, those guys.
kiddos, yeah. All right, yeah, Hexagon Brewing. Yeah, there we go. Nice big
Yeah, I'm sure none of those guys are watching.
label. I'll just move over this way.
Yeah,
a
I
little bit.
cheated. I grabbed that one right off the internet and just how's it go? Like this? No, like this. There we go.
Oh, ridiculous.
All right, got it. I just grabbed that off the internet and it wasn't sized down or nothing. But
So tell me about Hexagon and
all right, Hexagon. Well, Knoxville in general. I stayed at a hotel over on the west side of town, right there off of what is that highway? Was it 2070? If I forgot now, whatever highway that was, it runs right there coming in. Anyhow, I was looking for the closest place to me, and this one popped up. And I'll be honest with you, it was kind of a bitch to find. You kind of had to cross over the road and go down through all this weird little back roads, and to get to the outer road along the highway again. And then when you get there, you're going through what is kind of a commercialized area with like metal buildings and stuff. Then you pull into the parking lot, and then you go behind that metal building, and there's another row of buildings, and it's in that.
that sounds fairly convoluted.
Yeah, well, I needed a bar or a
I think I've only been to like the historic main drag there in Knoxville, but I love the city.
let mine settle.
Honestly, I would.
I do like Knoxville.
I'd be happy as a claim to pass right through Nashville and just stop at
I
Knoxville.
do every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
There's not much going on
I'll probably be back there again next Monday. Something.
There's some good stuff in Nashville. Yazoo's fine.
Nashville's fine. There's nothing.
But it's just so
bad
big.
about
There's so many people there. It's like Austin. It's cool. It's great. But man, it's just gotten overrun.
I tell you the place I want to get back to that I was really happy with going to Charlotte. I wish I could get over there and do some stuff.
Charlotte's
from there.
very cool.
Charlotte is cool.
North
as
Carolina.
hell. Yeah, in North Carolina.
Not Charlotte, Oklahoma, or Utah,
No,
or I don't even know if there's a Charlotte there.
Not the web. The little spider.
This is fantastic.
Well, I thought it was pretty good.
So
That's why I
no,
grabbed
this
one.
the reason we picked this tonight is that this crowler has a fill date on it of March 11th. So we're quite a ways out from this being filled. It's nice, and
It's still got a good fizz to it.
Yeah.
That's
why I like crowlers instead of growlers. I gotta say,
they're
not-
fucking ugly though. I like
they're not as
the
cool.
growlers, man.
Yeah, but they don't.
I don't buy that stuff to sit, man. I buy it to drink it, and they just look cool sitting up on your shelves, or in our case, hanging up on nails on the wall. It's really
Big nails.
I've got such stupid amount of lag on my screen versus this screen,
Yeah.
so it's like I go. It just happened here.
Do we here? Watch this. We can do this.
No, it's okay. We don't have to do
There
that.
we go. No, let's see the lag, computer to computer. That's a nice motion.
That's
blur.
actually wasn't as bad as it was, but there you go. All right.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
I get some POV drinking here.
I totally disagree. I mean, I guess they last longer and that there's more beer in them. But
well, you can also reseal them. Once you open this, it's game on.
yeah, but I mean, there's still so much air in the growler, depending on how much you drink.
I mean, I'm not saying you ain't got to drink it the next 24 to 48 hours, but it's still better than
That. Well, yeah. Well, that's
and you got something to keep. Of course, you're paying $10 a thing more too, usually, at least.
I'm just saying. I was really interested in that scammy thing that you found on Kickstarter that turned out not to happen. I think.
Oh, that thing that you put your growler in, and then it's supposed to put it on
suck
tap.
the air out or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cool, novel idea,
but they never got off the ground, did they?
As far as I know, they did not.
I think
I should follow back up on that though. We should follow up, find that and throw it up here on the screen. See if anybody else knows anything about it.
See if you can drag that up.
Okay.
Let's see. So, let's see. There's this thing that's been going around. The world's oldest known whiskey. Well, I don't know.
You do that.
I don't know about the world's oldest known whiskey, but it's a very old whiskey up for auction. This thing is purported to be somewhere between 1672 and 1802. I'm not sure why they put it on the twos. They couldn't just say 1760 to 1800, but apparently there's a reason.
Probably a reason. Do you think we can get them, let them have it on the show?
I don't think so, because this is expected to fetch, that's right, $20,000 to $40,000 for the bottle.
Ooh. I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Down in LaGrange, Georgia. Is it LaGrange in Georgia, or just is that the same as Texas?
LaGrange.
And we're swiftly.
Sorry, Georgia.
We're moving into like French Cajun accents. So we're moving.
Fuckers. Can't believe it. Think that's how we talk.
Oh man. I've only crossed through Savannah. Have you been through other parts of Georgia before?
Yeah, I was down by Columbus here not too long ago.
That's right. You have like
we did a live from there.
That's right.
As a matter
That's
of fact.
In Georgia or Alabama?
Well, I guess technically it was on the state line. But yeah, I guess I was technically in Alabama when I did that. But
was that John Emerald?
Yep.
Okay. Well, which we have to do on the show.
Yeah, we got that on there.
So
we not already done that? Oh, we haven't. Them are all still. Oh man, we are so far behind on getting stuff done.
Why are we far behind, Chris?
I think it's Kira's fault.
I mean, Kira is the reason that we're far behind, because Kira's our new editor, and she's getting stuff done slowly.
Do you all remember what that was called, that system?
I don't.
I can't find. I've got stuff on here that's kind of like what Jeremy had with the physics deal, but I don't see anything that
it was it was a thing where you put the growler in and it turned it into a tap, essentially. Yeah. But it wasn't just a suction thing. It had some fancy thing to do with the oxygen. No, we are behind for multiple reasons. One is that we got some new cameras, we got some new equipment that we're trying to figure out.
That's probably the biggest reason.
And then the other thing, the reason we're going to be behind for the next few weeks is that we're redoing the studio again. If you saw our last few videos on our working man beers, our garage beers, gas station beers, backyard beers, porch beers, lawn mowing beers, whatever you want to call them.
Coors Light.
Water.
Then
you know a little bit of what's going on. If you're on Patreon, you got a full tour of the studio and how that's working out. Yeah,
I can't find it.
We're expanding the studio.
Well, mostly we're expanding the peanut gallery, but eventually we'll get to the rest of the studio. We are trying to make the studio look a little nicer, though most of it's not going to appear on camera because that's where we put our initial focus.
Yeah.
But now we'll actually have ceilings and a floor that hopefully doesn't have as much dirt and dust in it.
And there will be a comfy couch for Patreon members.
Comfy couch, yeah.
Should they ever make their way.
Or me right after we're done shooting.
You're saying we need a fold out?
We might.
Actually,
we have a few night needs a fold out.
Taste Bud Studio sleeps 8.
That's not no shit right there.
Jared says
All
no
right.
CO2 drink tanks as a brand.
I don't sound right. Jared, the one I was looking at was a deal that was a refrigerator that you put your growler in. I think it would hold 2 or 3 growlers. It automatically pressurized it, and then you could run your growler through a bar tap that
Was
you
it
could
the
have in
growler
the other
saver?
room. I don't sound right, but maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while, but it kind of no, that's not it. This unit looked like a refrigerator, and you put your
Yeah.
growler in it, and then you tap it.
It was like made by a
Growler Chill, actually, I think that's it. Growler Chill.
Growler Chill. Oh, that's
it. That's
All
the
right,
one.
hang on. We're gonna share the screen.
I'm glad
here.
you could find that so freaking easy.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to this thing. It was such a cool concept, but
I do like the concept of it.
Would you
If this actually worked, I would be in on it.
would you like to pre-order? It's been
No, that's been 2 years ago when I started looking at this.
last updated April 5th, 2019. Ouch, guys. Why? Oh my god, let's see the updates. Let's see what's happened here. Preparing on the production front, blah 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 blah. Physical manufacturing, Texas. On the investment front, So
Nothing.
I feel like these. Yeah, there we go.
It's been a...
Rip off, civil lawsuit, filed my complaint with Consumer Affairs. I think these guys got in a bunch of trouble.
Man, I wish they had known. This is a great concept. It's a great idea. I would be in on this.
Oh, this is heartbreaking to like read these comments. I'm glad I didn't pay my money.
Yeah, I didn't give anything because it kind of looked a little bit funky, even when I was looking at it. And I just, man, but I want it to be right. I really do. This would be such a great concept because in my case, thinking about putting a bar in the basement, there's no one beer I want to go get a keg of, and I'm really one of 2 beer drinkers in my house, so it would take forever to get rid of. So I wanted something that I could go smaller, put nicer beers on. This would have really fit the niche.
Man, this looks like it looks like it was it looks like he had gotten some legal trouble, something called Penguin Tap, about some patent issues. Man,
That seems right.
yeah, that sounds about right. Just like it seems like somebody who maybe had a great idea and then like tried to get it off the ground with Kickstarter and then ran into a bunch of legal bullshit, which tends to happen. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But what a cool concept. I wish it had gone through. We'll see. Hey,
I wish
Jeremy.
it had as well.
How's it going, man?
Hey, I've got to throw this one up there for Rev Honey since I was drinking them a while ago. So we're going to put Rev Honey up here on the screen. Because eventually we would like for them guys to succeed as well, and we work something out with them because we really like their product a lot.
I have to break our continuity here for a minute.
Oh?
My glass is empty, and I know we're like shilling out brands we like. My beer's,
I like all the brands that's on this table,
my
quite
beer's
frankly.
fine.
Mine isn't. I wasn't offering you any. Fuck nut.
Here's the thing. What a great term. I wish people would use the word fuck nut more.
Your wish is my command.
It's so funny. It makes me laugh. No, I don't. Here's the thing. There's a bottle of Bunnahabhain Scotch right here that I'm going to dip into shortly. But that's probably going to wreck any chance of me tasting this gin. So this is from Samuel Burton Distillery. This is out of Labadie, Missouri, I think is how you say it. I think I've got that correct. If not, I'm sorry. It was worse in the videos.
That's fair.
Here's the thing about this distillery. So they sent us a bourbon, and they sent us a rye, and they sent us a gin. We did the bourbon. We did the rye. Now the rye, I was like all in on. It was not super punchy, but it was nice and smooth, and still had those rye characteristics. It was really, really good. Super fantastic, like everyday drinker type situation. The bourbon scared me because the color was about the color of this Auchentoshan Scotch, which is pretty light, pretty pale. And that's usually not a good sign in bourbon for me. It looked like a young bourbon, but man, it was pretty damn good. I was pleasantly surprised. I believe that those both go for about $35 a bottle. I'm assuming the gin is in the same category. Now, here's the kicker. Do you think this will be a London dry gin, or do you think this is going to be more floral and botanical, more citrusy?
I have a feeling it's going to be pretty dry gin. I think it's going to just be, well, I say, actually, let me rephrase that just a little bit.
Yeah, because did you see my face?
No, yeah, but so here's what I think. I think it's going to be like Rocktown's gin. I think it is going to have that dry note to it, but I think it's going to be a super base gin that's just had a lot of botanicals infused into it right off the front. But I think it's still going to finish dry. I could be wrong, though. I hope I'm wrong.
Boy, it has a nice nose to it. I will say that it's not sharp, but it's not... Citrus is not quite there. It's not like a Bombay Sapphire level of citrus and sweet, kind of. I don't know. It's a very pleasant nose. Whoa. I don't know if you're going to like this or not.
Well, I'm going to find out here in just a second.
But man, wow. That is a very interesting flavor. This is not what I was not what I was expecting. This would not be unlike the others. This is not something that I would put on my shelf as like a standard go-to drinker for that style. I don't think you're going to like this.
Oh, it smells like it's got like some, not sin. What's that? What's the one that sounds like it's
cardamom?
No. The one's all in the Christmas stuff.
Christmas stuff. Allspice?
That is, but no.
Clove?
Now I'll think of it, man. Don't worry about it.
Taste that. I need you to.
I'm going to.
Hurry up.
All right.
I need you to.
I'm on it.
I'm trying not to give this away, and it's very. You need to try it. You need to try Sam Burton's Anise.
Anise. That's what I was trying to think of. Who comes with that?
Jeremy. Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy is on here, but I can't get that fucker to answer a Snapchat to save my ass. I feel bad for messaging Megan nonstop, but I'm like, well, Megan's the only one that'll damn well respond. So it does smell like it's got anise in it.
No, the nose. I love the nose.
I'm not saying I don't like it, but that's not what I want in a gin.
It's not a gin, right? I mean, is
I need to try that.
Gin.
I want a martini with this. I want to see how it stands up with a martini. But no,
I can't imagine this.
It tastes like it's got celery salt in it.
I think you're right though that I think you hit it on the head with Christmas flavors. It's almost sweet. This is damn drinkable, but not in the way that you would think a gin would be. Like this should be labeled. This should be labeled as something gin. Something gin. Like,
sorry, I got some inception going on here. Okay.
Was that a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot?
That was Megan sent me a Snapchat of Jeremy watching us. So I sent a Snapchat back of us watching us.
This is the kind of shit we do.
This is what we do.
Our friends.
Yeah.
For our Patreon members.
Patreon. I think we have a Snapchat. Taste Buds has a Snapchat.
We have 2 TikTok accounts.
I don't.
Social Morgan created a TikTok account for us a long time ago, and then drunkenly, I was like, "Taste Bud guys, have a TikTok? I'll make one," and I made one, and so now we have 2 TikTok. Is that what you were?
Huh?
That's what you were spending.
I
so
was
much time
busy doing shit.
on? You needed. That's it's fine. I love the phrase. I think it's fun. I think
Good,
it's
that's
fun.
staying right there. I'm going to replace, where'd it go? I'm replacing this with that. Lyle Strickland, it's going away. All it's just going to say is fuck nut. So
Wish granted, bitch.
there you go. There you go.
I like the idea of nuts procreating. I think
Okay.
it reminds me a little Monty Python with the coconuts. Only in my mind, it's also with like just tiny little hazelnuts.
All right. You caught up on all the
Comments? I have
comments.
no idea.
I'm so far behind.
No, so there's one thing I did want to address that Jeremy brought up.
Well, here, yeah. This is what I was doing, Patrick. Now you know.
He was very intent on the laptop. No, this is what I wanted to address. Oh, yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come back to as well.
So I totally agree.
We got to shoot that on the porch, though. What, your porch or mine?
But this, Jeremy obviously doesn't follow the show. Never watches the episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, we only did one of those this last week.
I can't drink the other ones. Here's my question.
I've never had Boat and Lager.
I think he means Boston Lager. But
Boston
the more
Lager.
important question, why would you throw
we've done
Adams Boston Lager in the same category with Bud Light?
Yeah, I mean,
Miller
that's not
Lite,
even a
and
fair
Coors Light?
comparison, Jeremy.
Ridiculous.
Even if you don't like it, you cannot say they taste the same. I guess we could do a bunch of light beers. Yeah, that's no lie, though, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So-
Like, I would love, actually, on one of those episodes, someone was commenting that they'd like to see a Hams review.
Yeah,
I
we
would
want to do
love
that. I
to
thought
do a
we'd already
Hams
done
beer
that.
review.
I thought we'd already done that. And it wasn't until I actually said it out loud that I'm like, we haven't done that, have we? And I would love to do that because
It
I
was like
think
my
it's a
summer,
great go-to.
This is my summer drinker for a long time.
I think it should be. I think it needs to come back to us. We haven't had that in a while, and I love that beer. I love that beer.
Oh man.
Okay.
What else we got going on tonight,
I
Christopher?
don't know. I'm rereading some comments, and my CO2's a drink, and Jared's got all kinds of shit going on here. I've been chatting with Jared most of the night, though, so as we was I was at my son's track meet, and apparently Jared was at a different track meet, and we was having some cross conversation.
This is honestly a little disappointing.
Not doing seltzers, man. Hey, we did do your chocolate vodka, though.
Oh yeah, we did.
And we are
Also
just
disappointing.
about out of the
Duke.
Not Duke. Was it Duke?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're just about out of Duke. We're
Here's what we request.
Damn
we
near run
request Remus,
Recrest.
Remus, or Bradshaw.
Oh, fuck! We got about that much Bradshaw left, and I'm kind of. I'm kind of pissy that it's going to go away, and I'm like, damn, that's some good damn.
I have killed the Bradshaw.
No, that was mostly Lyle.
If you have something else, Patrick, from up the gut, let's give that.
Not that chocolate vodka. I'm going to tell you right now, Patrick, I didn't like it. I tried. I honest to God tried. I did not like it.
is it 30?
Lyle had better things to say than I did.
No, the vodka wasn't.
Hey, we should point out
Terribly
Patrick
sweet.
also, as part of Up the Gut, is doing a little bit of booze review as well. I don't know, Patrick, you might have to throw in the chat what you're actually doing, but he's doing some booze review. He's drinking on his show as well, and you can go over there and catch him on some of his episodes. So make sure you check him out.
Yeah, Duke. Come on, man. Come on. Just say it.
I mean, it's your bottle, whatever, dude. It's not like we're not drinking it, but you know us, we want something different all the time. Yeah, Tyler, it's coming. We did it the other night. It's
We did the crystal Head
somewhere
vodka,
in the
yeah.
editing process, but I
would
don't
say-
know where.
What would you say about that? My takeaway from the Crystal Head vodka from Dan Aykroyd is
Okay.
that it's the
It's fine.
smoothest vodka
It's
I've
fine.
ever had. It's almost a little bit sweet on the vanilla notes, but it's $50 a bottle. The coolest thing about it is the damn bottle.
It is, but here's the thing. I wish tequila was in it for one. It'd be a great tequila bottle, but it would be a lot like that one. The best thing or here's what I would say about vodka. The best bottle of vodka I will ever have is still not as good as one of the worst whiskeys
Yeah.
because there's nothing there.
Talk to me
I
about
just
this
don't care.
gin from Sam Burton. So,
Does it give any? Actually, I'm going to look it up. Go ahead. You talk.
I'm a little disappointed in this, but not.
If that's been the first thing I tried from them, I would be very disappointed. But having tried
The
at
other
least
stuff.
two other
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that what they've done there has got to be very intentional. It's exactly the way they wanted it.
I mean, it's
And,
very distinctive.
And there's something,
right?
there's something distinctive
like-
about it. But I personally, it's not for me.
I could see this going really, really well in like a mule, like ginger beer and lime. I feel like this would.
Which now,
Hit
maybe
really
we
well?
should do a review. I wasn't going to do a review on that because we did the other two. But since it's so distinct, maybe we should.
It's not something that I would buy. I would never buy this bottle as a gin to have a gin in my cabinet, but I would buy it for its very distinct flavor. This is something that you're not going to find everywhere, which honestly, I mean, maybe I could see where they're going in that like juniper gin flavors are kind of like maybe a little bit passe and stuff. I don't know.
I like it.
I mean, it's my jam, but it is tried and true. Like maybe they're trying to do something different with it. I just wish they would have called it something other than gin or like a something gin.
Called this something other than gin?
Something like brown sugar.
I mean, I
gin.
think that's their option is to call it gin, or they have to call it an infused vodka. There's no other thing.
Is that it? They can't say like
Yeah, because that's
can't call it
high
a-
level distilled off of their column distilled. I don't think there's anything else. They can't call it whiskey.
Oh no, but can they label it something or can they? They need to denote like this is not a typical.
Maybe there's something that can call it moonshine, but I think when you take it off that level of the column
Oh
still,
my god, this is the if you're a
I think
person
you
who-
have to at this point call it vodka
I think
or
I
gin.
just nailed on something. If you're a person who loves flavored moonshine, right? You like apple pie shine, you like something shine. This is probably up your alley.
That was an abrupt ass change.
We installed some new lights.
There, that's a better change there. Okay, I didn't realize I had it on full blown. Just like you're gonna change.
Oh,
Sorry, I'll make it. I'll make it.
what did you change?
Well, I went from orange to white, or still going from orange to white.
Oh.
Maybe I went that a little too slow.
Oh.
See, it's very, very slow.
I don't know.
So
New
I'll go
lights.
to whatever. Here, magenta. It'll go something real dark here. Eventually.
I love that Bradshaw whiskey. Jared, much agree. So to go back to Jeremy's comment about, let's see, where was it? There. Was the chocolate vodka sweet? Not terribly. I think this gin is sweeter than the chocolate vodka, but it kind of tasted like a Yoo-Hoo gone bad.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's. Here's the thing. It was
fine.
something at the end of it I didn't like. What I said specifically was, it's got a great nose. It smells awesome. The upfront chocolate flavor, spot on. It's beautiful. It turns into Yoo-Hoo very quick, which sounds like a good thing. But it ends with this very cough syrup-like flavor that literally makes me want to turn my stomach inside out.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Kira-
hate that nasty crap.
Kira described the finish as grape Robitussin.
Yeah, except chocolate.
Yeah,
There's nothing grape about it.
I think it'd make one hell of a chocolate martini. I'll tell you that. And I'm not above a chocolate martini. Those things are.
Let me
fucking
tell you what I
delicious.
did. Now, I won't tell you the place because I really like this place and I don't want to throw them under the bus, especially since I'm kind of wanting to work with them later.
Oh, who's this?
I ordered a martini the other day at a place over this way on the square.
Okay. Yes. I know.
Okay,
I know
so
who
I
you're talking
ordered
about.
a martini the other day, and the guy says, didn't do the whole thing. It was like vodka or gin. He knew what I wanted. And he was like, you want it flavored or not? I said, no, I want a traditional martini. And then I looked up there, I said, hey, you got Hendrix up there? Give me Hendrix. He's like, okay. Because he didn't have Beefeater or Seagram's.
Yeah.
So he makes it, and I'm looking at it, and this thing is cloudy as fuck. And I'm like, what the hell's he doing to that thing? And I look in there, there's orange shit fluttering around. He goes, well, I do it this way, then after I muddle it.
What?
He did what to my martini?
Why would you muddle a martini?
He muddles orange peel into it.
Why?
I don't know.
And also, if
'Cause
you
I
did that,
guess
why would you choose Hendrix? That's a
Well,
Bombay.
I didn't
That's a
know.
Bombay Sapphire. territory.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It was fucked up because I ordered an extra dirty Hendrix Martini. It should have been.
Salty.
Yes, it wasn't. It had this weird, like, soapy flavor in the back of it because that citrus kept hitting it, and it was just wrong.
So I'll go back to. I'll go
and
back
I'm like,
to.
man, had I known he was going to make it like it, like you said, Bombay would have been the right choice or something along those lines.
You want to?
But I want Hendrix, I want Uncle Val's, I want
I'm
Beef
guessing-
Eater, London. Well, I had another one with London Dry, and it was infinitely better. And I asked him not to muddle it after that, shake it, and call it good.
I'm guessing you would take another glass of this. Would you go grab us the bottle of Daredevil's gin while I
Well, I
brag
would.
on that? So this goes back to what I was talking to
Hey.
John.
Myself, time I get back,
He's messing with the lights. Talking to John Dillon from the Ozark Mountain Daredevils about is that gin is such an interesting liquor. It's like vodka, but the nuanced flavors in it are really difficult to pick up, but they can really fuck up your drink if it's bad, if it's wrong. So Chris hates Bombay Sapphire, I would say. There he is. Get back in here. Come on. So Bombay Sapphire, beautiful with a twist, but it's a very citrus heavy gin. Bombay makes a dry gin that's more in the like London Dry category that I think is fine. But like you want Beef Eater or Hendrix or something like that. I don't know why you would muddle an orange with it. It's very, very weird. Let's see, traditional. So two things, Jeremy, I would say this. Like martinis are either olives or lemons, right? It's either with a twist or with an olive. Those are the classic things, but there's also Gibson's, Buckeyes, Buckeyes with a black olive, Gibson's with a pearl onion. But basically you have to decide with gin generally, do you want it sweet, floral, citrusy, or salty, floral? Like that's kind of where it's at. It's always going to be botanical because it's gin. Gimlets. Yeah, those will go down fast in the summer. Those will go down fast. So, let's see. We're going to go back to, okay. So, Patrick, the E.H. Taylor. This is Chris Stapleton's whiskey. And I've heard, oh, you piece of why would you bring the chocolate vodka?
to show them what we was talking about.
Okay. That's the chocolate vodka that we were talking about.
Looks cool.
I mean, it's a great looking bottle. For a vodka bottle, it's fine. It has its purpose. If you're going to make a drink that needs a chocolate flavor, I would take that over any sort of, I would take that over creme de cacao. I'd take it over any, like, Patron creme de cacao, any of that stuff.
I would not.
The E.H. Taylor, that's Chris Stapleton's small batch. I'd love to try that. I hear mixed reviews on it. Good things and bad things, not much in the middle, so I'm anxious. Ordered a mule at a steakhouse, the worst thing ever tasted. Charging $9 for vodka. Oh yeah. No, that's so when you order a mule at a restaurant, do you order a mule, or I always specify Kentucky mule because I like whiskey in my mules instead of vodka.
I prefer tequila, actually.
But you specify, right?
I mean, it depends. If they've got a good description up there, I order the one that I want.
But would you ever?
That being said, I almost never order a mule because I can make them better at my house. Same way with Bloody Marys. I don't order Bloody Marys at a bar.
So Farmer's Gastropub in Springfield, Missouri. I've had a fantastic mule from there. Their meals are fantastic, hands down, awesome. But I will say, I always go back to like, why use vodka when you can use something with flavor?
Right.
Otherwise, you're just spiking the ginger beer.
I'll tell you the one I really like is a Dark and Stormy. I think they're phenomenal, and I'm very happy with it. But the best mule, and we did this on a show one day. I give the recipe for it. The absolute best mule that I've had is make a mule, but instead of using anything else, use a honey whiskey. We like the one from down in Texas.
Silver Stars.
Yeah, Silver Stars honey whiskey.
What is that called? I'll look it up.
Okay.
Jeremy's saying mezcal, by the way.
Mezcal one? I haven't tried
Smoking
it, but I
mule.
will.
Yeah.
I will. So I really, really like you take the honey whiskey, and you could use honey jack or something like that, and make a normal mule. And then when you're done, take some lavender, if you got a sprig of fresh lavender. I know that sounds pompous as hell, but take that thing and just beat the hell out of the top of that thing and throw it in there. Squirt a little lime juice on it. Man, that is just. You can drink them so fast that you will be so messed up just because they changed their labeling.
They did.
Throw that up on the screen. You will be messed up so fast on it because it's very tricky to figure out how much alcohol's in that compared to what it tastes like.
I'm really disappointed in this.
I don't like that label as well. I don't like that label at all, quite frankly.
So this guy right over here, the Silver Star Texas Honey Liqueur, this is the best honey whiskey that you'll ever have, at least in my limited experience.
Can you tell if there's one over there? Do we still have a bottle of it?
I believe we tossed the empty bottle.
Damn it. I was going to say, I'd like to show. It was more akin to what they have over here.
Yeah, it was more like the whiskey bottles. But
I don't like any of those bottles, to be honest with you.
Whatever. It's a label. It's fine. But yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay.
But this,
assuming
honestly,
they haven't changed the contents,
this is the best.
is the best honey whiskey you will ever run across. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Fantastic honey whiskey. Okay.
Okay. And Jeremy, we'll try your Mexican mezcal.
We have some really wonderful mezcals from Pluma Negra coming up on the show.
Ooh, yes.
These guys run anywhere from $60 a bottle to $270 a bottle, and we have some little mini flights.
No, that's Anteel. Shit. Sorry, wrong one. Also good. I thought we had Pluma Negra. That was my bad.
No, we haven't.
Lyle should label the pictures, but okay.
What you talking about? No idea. You just throw it up there like that, just ready to get, like, it's right there now for you. It's just,
it's staying. It's a thing.
I don't agree with this.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Okay.
Why did you have me bring the Daredevil's gin back in here?
Hang on, I got to address this real quick.
Okay, sorry.
Because Patrick is totally right. E.H. Taylor is not Chris Stapleton's whiskey, but he did some big charity drive for it, right? And that's kind of like, at least that's the first time I heard it, and after that, that's all I heard was E.H. Taylor. Before that, I never heard of E.H.
No, I have heard of them. They've been on a to-do list for a while for certain whiskey groups, Whiskey Tribe in particular. But that's when they really became well known, is after Taylor came up there, or Stapleton came up there and said, "I'm doing this thing here."
For like a charity deal, right?
I guess I didn't follow it, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace does own it.
See,
stop poo-pooing on stuff.
I just don't. I get. We have a bottle.
If
of
you
Buffalo
had the
Trace.
money, you'd own them too. Don't.
I'm just saying, Buffalo Trace is fine. It's totally worth the money. It's a great buy for the money, but it's not worth like driving to another state for. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know.
So I had you bring in the Daredevil's gin to discuss London dry gins because that was what I was in the mood for. In the
your bar flunky?
The Sam Burton gin did not hit the note for me tonight.
It didn't.
It's very interesting.
We said we wasn't going to review that, probably because we've already had 2 of their bottles.
I think we're going to, though, because
I think we should, because this rounds it out. As much as we shined on the other 2 bottles, was like, "Whoa, they're so great!"
Yeah.
I think we deserve to get to take one out there and go, "Not our thing."
And it's fine. Here's the thing. Like I said, I would buy this for its specific flavor profile. If I thought I had a use for this in my cabinet, but I would never buy this as an all-purpose gin. Yeah.
Gin. Yes. I am not a fan of that particular flavor profile. It's fine. It did its thing. I really do want to try a martini with it just to see what it does. But I'm, at the end of the day, not going to go back to that one.
That Daredevil's gin is so freaking
Oh, that's what we're doing now?
delicious. Yeah,
I thought you said something about making... Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was just one of the glasses of Daredevil's gin. We're gonna have to get another bottle of that. That's just fantastic. I think that may be the
Well,
best.
you know the guy that is in charge of that.
That's fair. That's fair.
You went fishing with him a week ago.
I did. Well, actually, we didn't go fishing.
Well, that's true. Somebody broke their damn neck or something. I'm glad I didn't get in on that.
So here's
deal.
the thing. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday breakfast, maybe a little fishing. Everyone leaves on Sunday. I showed up on Friday I have a new little girl at home, a new little baby.
That you named after a boy.
I did. My grandfather, in fact.
Your grandfather was not named Leland.
His middle name was?
It was Lilo.
Leland.
Lilo.
Leland.
That's what I said.
So long story short, like, my little girl's like 2.5 weeks old, 2 weeks old. I'm obviously not gonna like go for take that fucking banner down. We need to set a set number of times you can use the banner.
No, I built it. I can use it all I want to. Keep talking. Keep telling your story. Fucknut.
So my little girl's like 2 weeks old, right? And I'm obviously not going to go down for the whole weekend.
That is so much better.
But I go down for Friday because it's a tradition. I show up Friday, and my stepdad is sitting on the porch with one of the other boys, and they're like, yeah, we're pretty beat up from last night, which is not unusual. There's not a lot of fishing that goes on during these trips. It's mostly drinking. But they always make it out on the lake for a few hours of fishing, so they can call it a fishing trip, right? But here's the thing. I show up, they say, wow, I'm pretty beat up from last night. I'm like, well, I mean, it is Friday. You had one night. Usually they go hard the first night. But no, they were like bruised up. He took his hat off. He was like bleeding, black eye. They got back from the trip. One guy broke a fucking rib.
Shit.
Broke a rib, like busted his tailbone, like all sorts of shit, like just bruises up his back. My stepdad Bob, he's beat up on all around the face, big black eye. I mean, just these boys are like, they're not young bucks. They're 60, 70 years old. Like so what happened? Well, what happened was
What we might call our elders.
Yeah. What happened is that one of the guys stepped off a porch. There's a 3-foot drop. So drunk he stepped off of it, just fell flat on his ass, broke his rib and a bunch of stuff. And then my stepdad, who's 70 something, and his brother tried to help him up. And in the process of helping him up in their drunken state, he also fell and fucked himself up. Just living like teenagers, and God bless them for it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But here's the kicker. I brought 2 bottles down. I brought a Tequila Ocho Añejo, and I brought an Old Forester 1920. Now, the
Neither of which I've had.
But they're coming.
Sounds salty.
The Old Forester 1920, there's not much left in it. There's about yay much left in the bottle. That's 115 proof, I think, bottle of whiskey. He drank me under the table that night. I was totally sober, and he just totally... We also killed a bottle of Yellowstone whiskey and 3 bottles of wine, 3/4 a bottle of Old Forester for 4 people. It was dangerous, but we were in Buck Creek, where there's nothing can happen except for medical emergencies.
Up the butt crack. Sorry, you did added a comment.
I did?
But no, Patrick did. 60 bourbons, you guys make it back up here. Patrick, I've been there twice. It's your turn to come down, bud.
Yeah.
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 We got to film here.
It's your turn. All right.
What are you got that up here for?
Well, we lost our music. I'm trying to figure out. I at least lost it in my headphones.
Oh, it says man shaping. We started a audio podcast for a very short amount of time and realized we didn't have enough time to do it, which is why we hired an editor.
Yep.
If we get back to it, we'll start pushing that. But we was doing a audio only podcast. It was releasing for a little bit, and if we get that redone, we'll tell you guys all about it. Man, my internet over here is just like really wonky.
That may be the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be it. Totally could be it.
Well, I don't want you to bring all 60 of them, Patrick. I know for a fact at least one of them is made by Yellow Wolf.
Yella?
Yellow Wolf.
Yella.
You know how many times I've seen him come up in random groups since that day?
Yellow Wolf?
I've never heard of the guy before the night we tried his whiskey and hated it. And then since then, I've seen that pop up in so many, like, such and such with Yellow Wolf. And I'm like, who the fuck is Yellow Wolf?
I mean...
But, yeah, apparently he's a thing.
Yeah. Well, hip-hop and TikTok and
Okay.
whatever.
So, we're going to have to hurry up if we're going to get through all the shit on the table. We kind of...
Yeah. What else we got? I've only got one more until you brought that fucking vodka in.
I'm not drinking that vodka. I brought that in just to... Let me try that rye real quick.
So, have we heard anything from Balcones?
Have we released that?
Yeah, we released the Texas bourbon. Yeah.
Okay. So,
These guys...
guys, here's what we want you to do. We've done now either 4 or 5 bottles of Balcones. Not even once have they acknowledged our existence. And we called them out like crazy on the last one. All we want them is just like a thumbs up, a like,
They don't even have to say anything.
Hey guys, thanks for reviewing our stuff.
Thanks for drinking our stuff.
We really like Balcones. We would just like for them to acknowledge our existence. That's pretty much it. And at this point, we have got nothing from them. So if you guys would get on their Facebook or whatever and just go over and go, hey, I'm out here because those Facebook guys, those Tastebook guys, those Taste Bud guys, whatever you want to call it, those Taste Bud guys actually called you out while I was just checking you guys out. That would be great because we'd sure like for them to say, hey, thanks, guys. I really do genuinely like their whiskey. I'm just aggravated at that their social media director kind of fucking sucks. And
we might have to do multiple episodes of Balcones. Why won't you talk to us?
Just leave a bottle on the bar. Bam, Balcones.
Yeah.
Like all 5 bottles or 6 bottles, whatever we got, leave them on the front of the bar and go.
Number of days.
Hey, this brought to you by not Balcones.
Yeah.
And then
I
think that's perfect.
All right. We've got a plan in place. But,
Okay.
But yeah, go
Call them out.
comment on their Facebook page. Tell them that we love them and tell them they should at least say hi. That's all we want. Just say hi.
Jared, I'd say that if I didn't like their whiskey so much, but I genuinely like their whiskey a lot.
Whiskey's fantastic.
Whiskey's really good, man.
Also, gin doesn't have range? I beg to differ.
Hey, Jared, we're going to catch you one night when you're not allowed to drink, or at least you haven't started drinking. And we're going to sit down here and we're going to talk about some gin. I used to think that until I had several gins back to back. And dude, gin has so much going on behind the scenes. You just need a clean palate to start with. It's really something.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I will say that
I hate Instagram.
Gin to me is like, it's a better flavored vodka and a much better liqueur.
I just now realized you can hover over the little eyeball and it tells you how many viewers you have on YouTube and Facebook.
Wow.
I did not know that. So we're split.
We learned a thing today.
Yeah, we're split up there, half and half.
You guys couldn't see any of that, but there's some analytics on our end.
Yeah, no, I've always wondered if it was worth our time being on Facebook or not, but I guess it is because half our viewers are on there. Half of the 4.
I've had a lot of people say, "Hey, I saw your video the other day." On Facebook.
We only get like 4 to 10 views for the night. Usually at a max. I mean, sometimes it peaks a little higher, but most
Facebook
of the time
goes heavy.
But then the next day on YouTube we'll have like 40 views, and then on Facebook we'll have 100 or something like that. You know, it just depends. They go kind of nuts on Facebook, but Facebook only counts like 3-second views or some shit. So I don't put much stock in that.
Which is it, Patrick? Is he in his 60s or is he like in school working on a research paper? You got to make up your mind, man. You got to make up your mind.
Dang it.
He's both.
I'm not in my 60s. I am 47 years old. Wait, 48, 47. What is it? What year is this? 21?
21.
I'm 47.
2021.
I'm 47 years old.
He likes to remind himself.
I have to, or I'll forget.
Let's talk about scotch for a minute.
Yeah, so that's what we set out to drink tonight. And real quick, first hexagon again, because there you go. Because that's what we're drinking beer-wise tonight. And since we don't have koozies, I'm going to call them out. And they was kind enough to let me hang out in their brewery. And they killed the music for me and everything, so I had a quiet corner and all that stuff. So really nice people, really cool dude. Pretty nice place. Like I say, I give them shit about where they're located because it's kind of a fucked up place to get to, and you're never going to find this if you don't put it on your GPS, because there's no visibility to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then if you guys go back and look at, I think it was 2 live episodes ago. The last one we did about 30 days ago, then one before that.
We stopped doing live episodes for a few reasons. One of them is that we had some technical issues. I think that was the one that we had some big reverb going on. I think it was the last one or the next to last one.
Yeah, it was. I know
it's a shocker that we can control more audio and video stuff in the studio than we can live, even though,
there was something else going on there. I've talked about it a little bit. I think there was an issue behind the scenes there and what was happening.
I think it was on my end. I think it was on.
I think it was too.
Yeah.
And we'll get that worked out because I am going to have to be on the road some. But in the upcoming months, we're probably not going to do this for another 30 days or so again. And that's going to give us a chance to get through. We're redoing the floors in the other room. We're redoing, we sheetrocked everything, studded in walls, so we kind of covered up some of this rock like you see behind us in the other room where it was not the prettiest. We redid that, covered up some of the holes in the walls, made a nice little area we're getting ready to sheetrock, we got a sheetrock, but we're getting ready to finish out with some mud, plaster, paint everything up. Lyle's going to redo the floors on their stuff. Then we're going to move everything in. Again, it's probably not something you're going to see a lot of on the camera, but we'll give you guys a tour of it when it's said and done. And then out in front, where the part nobody ever sees, which is kind of what we call the waiting area, I guess, or the entry, we're going to be redoing a lot of that as well, so we can kind of sit around and play some music and do some random things.
I'd say that's a Patreon privilege, right?
Probably.
Mean, in general,
or certainly a buddy thing if you happen to be coming through Buffalo.
Yeah. Give us a shout if you're on your way through the thriving metropolis of Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a super cool Airbnb right across the street in the old jailhouse.
In the jailhouse.
It just opened.
Whatever, man.
Just saying.
Whatever floats your boat.
So, okay, scotch.
All right, we got to do a scotch. I don't think we're out of this thing, right?
Do we have to do a scotch?
We have to do a scotch. Oh, hang on. I've got to clear my palate if we're going to bed and hopping.
Oh, yeah. So
I don't want that to be tainted. That is actually a really good scotch.
So here's the thing. Chris bought this beautiful, beautiful bottle of scotch. Jared had a little bit. Morgan had a little bit. What'd you rinse your glass with?
Rev honey and gin. And then
pour me just a smidge of Auchentoshan just to get me back in the scotch palate. There we go. So you brought this bottle
cleanse our glass with a $60 scotch. That's the level we're at.
But we're not going to toss it.
I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to drink it.
All right, so
now I'm back to scotch.
Chris bought this bottle of Japanese whiskey.
Oh shit, that's good stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit. Is that Japanese whiskey? I've never had anything from Japan that
Japan.
God damn it! I'm never gonna live that down. I shouldn't have expressed my glee at that catchphrase.
I'll never make that mistake.
Bullshit. No, you brought this bottle in, and we've had Hibiki, we've had Suntory, Old Suntory, we've had a few other Japanese whiskeys. Mm-hmm. And typically Japanese whiskeys are in the Scotch style because most of the distillers there trained in Scotland
Yeah, so they're if
Which maybe
worst case scenario, they're an Irish whiskey with a hint of Scotch.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're kind of light, such as some of the Habikis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Social Morgan was out and about, and she messaged me and said, "Hey, I found these 2 or 3 bottles of Japanese whiskey. Are you interested?" I'm like, I guess. I don't know. I've not been very impressed with any of them. They kind of suck, to be honest. And she's like, "This thing's $80." I'm like, I don't know, you know. We looked it up, and I'm like, okay, the Yoichi is supposed to be the most peaty. Go with that one if you're going to try one. I choose green. So it will eventually be green. Anyway, so she brings us in there. Jared was at the house at the time we brought this over. We did a review on this. It isn't released yet, but it's coming up. We sat out in the garage while we were smoking some meat and stuff, and drank this along with the beer. And this is absolutely rekindled my interest in Japanese whiskeys.
Yeah,
it was phenomenal. I can't tell you how. Lafroig is one of my favorite scotches.
Yeah.
This absolutely competes. This made me want Scotch like the same way Lafroig makes me want Scotch nonstop.
Yeah, I agree. It's smoky. There's your green.
I know, but I was putting back on Chase so that green washes out our 4x4 brewing sign. Something terrible.
Or what?
You got a 4x4 shirt on? Oh yeah. Look what I can do. 4x4 brewing right there.
No, the Yoichi Scotch.
If we're saying that right.
So I walked into
here. Why are we making sleek make?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like a thing, and it's not a thing. Yeah, let's make Boone Hobbin the thing.
I walked into Brown Derby International Wine Center the other day. Tried a few things.
Let's talk about that for just a second. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but let's just talk just for a second about going
Sharon's
into
comment has pertinence here.
Merit.
Yeah.
So let's just talk just for a second about the going into a liquor store in general.
Yeah.
And taking recommendations. And yes, we are specifically talking about the wine center because we felt like we've not been treated the best.
I've gotten burned so many times there, and not
even though we just did an episode live from their location.
Yeah, and that's coming up hopefully in a couple of weeks. But,
yeah,
but not. Here's the kicker: we have not had the greatest experience there, not maliciously. But here's what I've run into. I'll speak for myself. I go in and I say, "Hey, I'm looking for something different, something new, whatever." I go through their shelves. It's not a huge selection, but they do have some interesting bottles there. They have some very good bottles there. Without a doubt, the first thing they say is, "Have you checked out our Barrel Select shelf?" Right? And so the Barrel Select shelf tends to be,
and they always go to the Barrel Select, which is an end cap.
First thing,
an end cap, right in front of the registers.
Yeah, it's $25 to $40 more a bottle for what you would pay for the normal bottle. So Maker's Mark, where you might pay, I don't know, $50, is going to be $95 for their Barrel Select.
Who the fuck is paying $50 for Maker's Mark?
Well, it's for their special ones.
All right, whatever.
All that to say,
no shit. I was trying to move it. Knocked it over.
You need a keyboard to spell that on.
Can you move yours over closer to?
No. Here's the kicker. Barrel Selects are really. That wasn't me. That was. No. That was. We need to slide that over.
I can't. It's the way I've designed that. It can only be right there.
Damn it. Not wrong, but yeah, we're talking store picks, Patrick. Absolutely. So I'm talking Barrel Select, like oh, we have this bottle
like the one we just did from Lucas Liquors.
That's a great one to talk about. That was a Codigo. Code
fucking phenomenal.
How do you say it?
Cadigo. That's what we decided. It's Cadigo. We don't give a shit about anything else. It's Cadigo.
So Lucas Liquors out of Kansas City, Kansas, somewhere in that region.
What did Lucas lick?
Lucas Liquors. They had a barrel select version of Cadigo Reposado that Jared brought down.
That blue in the background looks like it's opening a portal. You guys watch for that. Keep going.
Oh, you're right.
Don't it look like something's going to reach through and grab our ass and yank it through the wall? Boom.
Yeah. No, the Cadigo Lucas Liquor Select was fantastic, but here's the most beautiful part about it. It's not any higher, or maybe a couple of dollars higher than the bottle would be normally. So, Patrick, I would agree with you to a certain extent.
Well, wait a minute. Let's rephrase it. Not necessarily better, but different. Now, some people like them a little better.
It's unique.
I tend to like the unique flavors, but I have since then...
Well, let me put
I
it this
agree
way.
with someone who says, "Oh, I love this, but I can never get it again." That does suck, and I too agree with that, because until that was said, I would have told you small batch barrel picks. What Lyle's one said it. Anyways, I would have told you until then that was absolutely the way to go.
It's because when I went into Wine Center, they have a barrel select version of Maker's Mark, right? That they kind of like half-ass call the creme brulee barrel. Then it is beautiful. It does taste wonderful, but you're never gonna find it again. That bottle's all you get. You're not gonna find that flavor profile again. And the thing is that it's marked up significantly, and I don't think a barrel select version is worth like a third to 2/3 of the price of the bottle above what you would normally pay. That's my frustration point. It's mostly price. It's like Pappy, right? It's artificially insinuating a rarity on the bottle. Does that make sense? Like it's
Okay.
a bottle that is aged the same as the shit you would buy for a third to 2/3 less.
All right, let's talk
It
about
just
this just for a
happens to
second.
have a profile to it. It's like, come on, guys.
I don't know if Colby's still on here. Colby, you can answer if you're still in the chat. So here's the thing: we have a possibility of getting a bottle.
Lucas, sorry to interrupt, but Patrick is totally right. When we talked to Jared, like when we looked up the Cadigo Reposado, their store pick, their barrel select was pretty much in line with retail, and that's the way to do it. That all day long, absolutely, I will absolutely pick the barrel select that at that price point all day long.
So Colby is worked by a taste bud barrel. Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I wonder how we go about. We might look into that. That wouldn't be the worst thing. I'm sure that's really, really expensive though. Which, by the way, guys, we have what did I say earlier?
$170.
About $170 in the Patreon
We're
account
in weird
right now.
territory right now. This is the where
I want to keep going. I mean, unless somebody just begs us to go ahead and spend it and buy it, I'd like to keep going. I'd like to run that up to about twice that, and run that into that $350 range, and then go out and find a bottle.
Okay.
Of course, there's a weird jump. Basically, you can get whiskey that goes from $15 to roughly $250, $300. And then from there, it jumps up into like $1,000. It's really hard to find something in that $500 or $600 range.
Yeah.
But I think that's where I want to go. I want to run that up there to a number where it's like, hey, our Patreon members have run this up. I'm willing to donate $100 to the cause.
What do you think about?
So if they got 170, now we got 270.
Do you think
so?
Patreon ought to get a bottle at a certain level?
Oh, I don't know.
Out of a
I don't know how
barrel?
you do that. I don't know what. I mean, I don't personally give a shit, but I mean, I don't know what the legality of that is. So we would have to be kind of careful with that. But yeah, I would totally, at the very least, come by and just.
I
grab
got some good ideas.
It might be one of those
thank
things.
You.
It might be one of those things where they have to come by the studio and then we
Pick
let
it
them
up
go home with something.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know how to do that. But
Patrick,
we'll
that's
see.
a great idea. We might explore some stuff on Patreon. Oh, I don't think we ever just finished our discussion on Scotch because I got caught
All right.
on Wine Center and their barrel select. God damn it. So I went in. I was looking for a couple things to take to this fishing trip. Someone comes up and they say, "What are you looking for?" And I said, "Well, I've had most of what you have on the shelves. I'm looking for something." I don't know. I'm trying to decide whether I want something new or whether I want to just spend my money and get something, meaning 2, 3, 4 things that I love, that I know I love. And I don't know. They take me to the back room. I have a couple of samples there. They have very different flavor profiles than me, very different
But
palates.
what did you have on sample back here? Did they have actually a full sampling, or like, well, I have this bottle open, you can try it?
No, it's a full sampling. The guy was legitimately trying to nail down my
All right,
flavor
cool.
profile.
Great.
I say that. I don't know that he was so much trying to nail down my flavor profile as he was trying to
Pushing you towards the one he wanted to sell.
I don't even know if it's what he wanted to sell. I think it
that's
might
what I felt. Last time I went in there, I felt like they was like, try this. Oh, I like this smoky thing. You'd probably like this not smoky thing. Try this.
That's kind of where I was, but I feel like that might have just been a difference in palates. But that's what we go back to in terms of listening to the person you're talking to. Not everyone is ready for your favorite whiskey. Patrick, your point in case with Duke. On occasion, the Duke hits me so well. It's beautiful, but it's not my go-to everyday whiskey, but it is yours from what I understand. That it's a difference in palates, right?
I've never picked up the Duke and not liked it, but I have picked up the Duke and not been my favorite of the night.
That's where I'm at.
So,
that's where
yes.
I'm at. Yeah. So here's my thing is that I go in, I tell him, hey, I like really woody, oaky, big, strong, bold flavors in bourbon, right? And I think the first thing I had was their Barrel Selective Maker's Mark. The creme brulee version was delicious. It was fantastic, but it was very smooth. It was a little sweet, very vanilla, maybe like salted caramel type flavors. I think the next thing I had was, what was it? I'm trying to remember. They had a Remus Barrel Select that I didn't try that I probably should have because I know I like the Remus Reserve. Thank you, Patrick. That shit's beautiful. After that, I had a California whiskey that was aged in sake barrels. A few others. I don't know. Long story short, he just didn't hit my flavor profile. But what I went in for was this bottle of Yoichi that Chris brought to the studio. The best Japanese whiskey I have ever had, hands down.
Agreed.
Fucking phenomenal. It's smoky.
Sorry, I'm trying to make money.
It's smoky, but it's got a high smoke on it. It has a fruity, high citrus note that's like a
I was talking about the Pappy, Colby. I was talking about the possibility of getting a bottle of Pappy, and then we changed subjects, so I'll come back to that here in just a second.
Yeah. Don't big cock my story here.
I'm not.
I'll wrap it up. Look, two thumbs. No, so all that to say, I went to go get this bottle of Yoichi, whatever it is. Amazing bottle of Japanese whiskey. The guy goes, I've never seen one before. He goes, if you see it, you need to buy it. I was like, I'm pretty sure they have like a shelf of it down the store, but they're down the way. But they're like $80 a bottle, whatever. But
that was the picture I got from Social Morgan. Was there was 2 brands on the shelf, plenty of them, Yoichi and the other one, and then I found
Nika.
a different.
Nika's the distillery, right? Nikka.
Yeah, Nika's distillery, because there was a joke about that, and then I guess I could make it here, but I would be
Hey, Dickie.
I would be hesitant to make it up there. But anyhow, so Nika was a distillery, and then they was the main distillery. So they own multiple distilleries along the coast, one of them being in Yoichi, Japan.
Yeah.
And that's where that one was made. There was
one-
also another one they had there, and then a third one I found at Price Cutter,
Yeah.
like 2 days later, for $20 cheaper, by the way.
That's the kicker. So I guess that's at the end of the story here. The moral of the story is to like trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your own research. Don't listen to the liquor store rep
Or us.
They have stuff to sell. We don't have stuff to sell.
No, but I mean,
We have our own flavor profiles. We have our
yeah,
own
I mean, just
palates.
because I say I like it doesn't
Yeah.
mean a damn thing to what you like.
But like when you go in, just have the balls to be like, no, you know what? I don't like this $130 bottle. I don't like it. That's not my thing. That's maybe for someone else, not my
bud.
thing.
But, okay,
Okay, Pappy. Let's go to
Pappy. Okay,
Speaking of
Colby,
like
and he's gonna hear his name again.
big stuff of like,
Hey,
oh my
Colby.
God.
Colby is big stuff right there. Okay, so Colby. What? Actually, we got a branding thing for Colby. Where the hell's it at? Well, there's that tequila guy, and then there is the Bassin USA, and then there is that Colby. Nope, that's Tyler. I don't know where Colby's at.
Colby has multiple.
Colby, there we
vendors?
go. Yeah, Colby, who's not here. Well, I have to make these things up. So the way this works, when I have to make a page up, you can only have one overlay working at a time. So when you see something that has, like, let's say, Chris and Lyle on it, for me to add Colby, that's an entire different overlay, or Tyler in this case. Nope, Colby. Sorry, okay. Sorry, I can't read that. Oh, I never mind. I labeled it. I should read the label. It says guest host with Tyler Weeks. Bam, right there. Guest host with Colby Davison. Bam, right there. If I just read what I wrote, it'd be great. Anyhow, so I have to make an entire new label. I can't put this up and then add Colby. I have to make an entire new thing and add Colby to it.
Womp, womp, womp,
Womp, womp, womp. So that's why it was a pain in the ass. Anyways,
Talk to me about
so
my
there's
daddy.
Colby.
Talk to
All
me
right.
about my Pappy.
Colby is working on trying to get a bottle of Pappy. Okay.
What kind of Pappy? What year? What year are we talking
Well, we think it's about 20 years old, but we'll see. We'll see. We don't know. I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to jinx it or anything else. But the conversation before this was, if there was a bottle of Pappy in front of us,
Yeah.
how do we review that? Because everybody knows Pappy is the holy grail of whiskey.
It goes back to the Buffalo Trace. That's why Buffalo
Except
Trace
that-
is it's such a thing. It's because it's connected with Pappy.
Except that is it?
It's not. It's because
Okay,
it's a
I mean, I'm not
cheap-ass
saying.
whiskey.
Here's the thing: is if Pappy,
Not Pappy.
if
Buffalo
this,
Trace is
let's say,
cheap-ass
let's
whiskey.
this bottle of Pappy, let's say it was the best whiskey I've ever had. Okay,
Yeah. How much is that worth?
what is it worth? Yeah. So I know out of the gate these bottles are being sold for like $125, $250 right out of the gate, and then they go to basically auction price at that.
Auction price moves up to several thousand.
Several thousand. We've seen anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for a bottle that's going on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't want to shit on something that everybody else is like, oh, this is the most amazing thing. Maybe my palate isn't sophisticated enough to appreciate it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not good. It probably is great. But at what price point
So
are you going to say, this is absolutely worth $5,000 a bottle? Fuck that. I highly doubt it.
So I've had Pappy 12,
Yeah.
Pappy 10, Pappy 12, somewhere around.
It's your
there.
story. I
One
don't
of
know.
those. I
You
don't
tell
know.
me.
Years ago, and it was before I ever drank whiskey. I mean, I was not a whiskey drinker at all. Fucking banner. God damn it.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm start throwing it up and making you take it down. I'll throw it up. You have to take it down.
Oh, that's danger. Just make it permanent. So
I can't believe I haven't slipped that up there and you not noticed yet. Every time I've brought it up there, you've been like, what the hell's that? Knock it off.
I'm in there. No, I've had about a bottle of Pappy before. I believe it was a 10 or maybe a 12, 15. It was not a It was an expensive bottle, but not a crazy expensive bottle. And it was well before these prices went apeshit. This was 10 years ago at minimum, probably closer to 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago.
See, I'm on board with this right now.
Right?
I don't even like Vegas, but I'm on board with this.
So I had this bottle. It was the best whiskey that I've ever had in my memory. But I was not a whiskey drinker. Now I've had so many different bourbons, so many different ryes, so many different scotches. I'm curious to see if I would like it as much. And here's the thing. I think that I would love to know somebody in my position right now, somebody who can afford, let me stress the T, can't afford a bottle of Pappy.
Or is not willing to afford, which is like a lot of people's cases.
Yeah,
not that
I could sell
a lot of people
I could sell
are
a couple
not
cows and buy a bottle of whiskey.
I was going to say, a lot of people are not
or I could
willing.
fucking eat meat.
It's not like you
and
can't come up with
steaks for a
$1,000
year.
or $500 or
Yeah,
$2,000. It's just you're not willing to sacrifice.
I could sell 2 cows.
Which is my argument. That's been my argument forever about what a whiskey's worth.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't afford it. When we say, "Oh, this bottle's absolutely worth $100," is that worth not paying your electric bill? Is that
No,
worth
absolutely not.
like not getting all your snacks for a week?
Absolutely not. No.
That's where I draw the line. And I say if you have to make that choice between eating bologna and cheese for a week or 2 weeks to buy this whiskey,
There's better things to buy.
Is that worth it?
There's
and I don't
better
think it
things
is.
to buy.
I don't think it
I'm
is.
totally with you. I'm totally there. So all that to say, I hope that we get it. I hope that I get it and I taste it and I enjoy it and I appreciate it for what it is.
I'm
I hope
positive
that
that'll be the case.
I hope that it's one of the best whiskeys I've ever had. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. I hope that it is, and I hope that I am able to sit back and say, this is not worth the X number $1,000 price tag that it is. It's a fantastic
I
bottle,
totally agree.
and you're fucking lucky if you get it. That's the other
I
kicker.
just don't feel like
just
they can be.
Soak in the glory of being like, man, I was lucky enough to grab a bottle of this,
Yeah,
and I drank
You
it.
got to understand, I'm
and I
a
enjoyed it.
black and white kind of person.
Yeah.
I absolutely am just like, not that I don't appreciate finer things. I just understand that there is things you can do with your money, and that one is would be tough.
I just think that there's something to be said for.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. That would be a hell of a YouTube video. Fried bologna and Pappies. People would click all over the place on that.
I think that there's something to be said for having something of rarity, something of value that you come to with virgin eyes, virgin tongues, and you go, I'm gonna just let's see, let's try this for what it is.
Toss a salad.
And you. Let's see how many
virgin
sexual
tongue.
innuendos can we
With
fit
your
into
virgin
this?
tongue. I can't believe we glossed over this statement right here. I was cooking and heard my name. Colby, what are you cooking? We might be heading out your way.
I was gonna say I haven't had dinner yet, so
I haven't either. I had a hot dog.
I usually count
at
on
the,
Jared or Colby to like.
Yeah, I had a
for
hot dog at the
sustenance.
track meet, and it is fastly fading.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What do we got going on? Is this we're nearing the end of this? Is that what
I
we're,
think we probably
Okay.
should be. It's we're an hour 25 in.
I'm spilling my Budenhaben, and that's not a good sign.
Budenhaben. So we totally glossed over that. So we did pour a little bit of Budenhaben to top this off.
Now this is a
Let's hold on a second before you
What?
go to that. Let's talk about this Auchentoshan for just a second. And
the
why-
Auchentoshan?
Yeah, let's talk about the Auchentoshan before we shout up all of it. So the Auchentoshan is it's a Highland Scotch, right? Before I say that, or a Speyside, which is still part of a Highland Scotch. Okay, so Auchentoshan is aged in American oak barrels. Got a little bit kind of a sharper note to it. We did a review on it. It's neither one of our favorites but it's fine. It tastes like a lower end one. We both fanboy the hell out of Budenhaben. Admittedly, we like it. Whether that's because we have an unreal attachment to it or because we just legit like it and it's that good, I don't know. We think it's that good. Lyle had a bottle. I don't remember what it is. You always have to remind me.
It was a 30-year-old bottle of Signatory Bunnahabhain, which is similar to like a barrel select. It's
Yeah.
like, this year was really good. We're going to buy a bunch of it and save it.
So somehow Lyle got a bottle brought straight over from Scotland, and he got it in his decanter, and it legit is one of the best scotches I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was what, $350?
At the time, it was about $350 a bottle. Now, I don't think you could buy that bottle for $700, $800.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyhow, it was a very expensive bottle at the time.
I did
I
not buy
enjoyed
it.
the hell out of it. It was one that I was glad to have got to partake in. It really opened my eyes to what
nursed that-
Scotch could be.
I nursed it
Is it
for
worth
too long.
$700? Hell no.
No. Yeah.
But it was very, very good.
Is it worth $200?
If you could afford it, maybe. It's not something I would tell anybody to go out and buy, but it was, yeah.
That's
it
the
was
kicker.
good.
When it comes down to the end of the day, it's like, what's your expendable income on liquor? And like, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, listen, I can only afford a $25 bottle of whiskey a week, or every 2 weeks for that matter. But like, even at that price point, you can find some really good shit. You just
Right.
have to search for some unicorns. You just have to search for your palate specifically. I mean, Jim Beam Double Oak is $16 a bottle, and we go back to it time and time again. It's a good drinker. It's a fantastic drinker.
I can buy a $50 to $70 bottle every couple weeks. It's really, that's within my budget. It's fine. I prefer to buy that $20 bottle.
Yeah.
$200, $300 is not within my budget, and I try to be cognizant of that when we review something that's $100, $150. When we get loaned a bottle of tequila that's $200, $300,
Yeah.
I try to be cognizant
Well,
of that
I mean-
and not just tell you, oh, this is the greatest thing ever because it's expensive.
I mean, I went down
But-
the fishing trip. I bought Tequila Ocho Añejo,
Which is we have
done
had,
the Repo.
and we've had Tequila Ocho. We know it's a very good.
It's a good distillery. We love the Reposado.
Yeah.
And so I bought the Añejo, and I bought the.
And just no spoilers, but I mean, did you?
Well, I'm getting to that. So
Okay.
so then I
All right.
bought the Old Forester 1920 Prohibition, which we've had. Old Forester 100, a very affordable bottle, a
was that the
fantastic bottle of
1910? Is it 100?
1920
19
is what is. Oh no,
No.
the 100's just Old Forester 100
Okay.
proof. Yeah.
All right.
We've bought that. It's like $30
There's
a
like
bottle.
100 different models of Old
Yeah.
Forester, and I don't know which ones.
So I
which
bought
first
both of
or-
those bottles. I was familiar with both the distilleries. I was fairly confident that I would at least enjoy the bottles. But I mean, I walked out of there with 2 bottles, and it was $170 for 2 bottles,
That's a lot,
and
man.
it fucking hurt a little bit. But I was like, you know what? Like, I haven't had either of these. I'm anxious to try them. Let's
Yeah.
do it. It's worth it.
If
And
that's your hobby, that's okay.
Now-
no different than golf.
that's the kicker. Is like, if I had had a taste of them before, I would have
It's
bought.
harder to talk when you get drunk. Isn't it?
It does. I would have had the Tequila Ocho Repo. I think the Repo is a better buy for the money.
As it normally is.
Yeah.
Normally it is.
The 1920 Prohibition style, for my palate, for the real hot, very oaky. When I go to a bar, a high-end bar even, a fantastic cocktail bar, and I say, I would like a very oaky, heavy, hot whiskey. That's what I want. And they never serve it. They never serve me what I'm actually looking for.
So what do you think that is? Is it not expensive enough?
I think they don't. I think they're scared of charging me what they need to charge for that. And I think they don't understand what they're doing. With the exception that one restaurant in Springfield, Missouri, which I'm shocked to say this because it's not the most gourmet restaurant. It's not the most like high profile
I'm
restaurant.
curious what you're going to say, because if it's what I think you say, I'm going to disagree with you. But
Farmer's Gastropub.
okay, that's not what I thought you said.
Farmer's
I
Gastropub.
agree with that one. I thought you was going to say
Progress?
the other place, Progress. Yeah,
Progress?
Who I was very disappointed when they tried to give recommendations. I appreciated what they tried to do.
Their food's amazing.
Their food's amazing, and I do think their wait staff has been educated to what
normal
someone
person,
else's experience with whiskey has been.
Yeah.
but
That's a
not
good-
their experience, because when they try to explain it, I'm like, you haven't actually had this, have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I agree.
Okay, but Gastropub, hell yeah! If you're in Springfield, there is no other place I would recommend you to go if you haven't been to Farmer's Gastropub. Them guys,
fantastic.
they got their shit together.
Yeah.
Beautiful people, nice people. They're awesome owners, awesome wait staff. Actually, I think we're hoping to get Tyler down here, right?
Yeah, at some point. At least last time I was a little tipsy and was talking to him.
Yeah.
If he's still there. I don't know.
I was last time I was there, but that's been a couple months. Which we might go up there later this week if we get a haircut. Which, by the way, has to be Thursday. That's the only day I've got.
I'm free Thursday. Let's do it Thursday.
So, all right.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around with us. We're going to do another one of these lives soon. We're trying to coalesce what we want to do with it and what you want to see. So if there's something you want to see, let us know.
So we haven't had a lot of input back. Even naming our little dragon guy over there, or ant guy, or firefly, or whatever the hell this thing is. We've not had a lot of participation coming back to us. We would love to get your guys' involvement in. Tell us what you want to see, what you don't want to see. That, for instance, would be a great thing not to want to see. We do have a little bit more work to do. We are trying to get some stuff wrapped up here in about 3 weeks. We're going to be doing a collaboration with Two Blondes Drink Beer, which from Kansas City.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't tried to check those guys out, go over, just look up Two Blondes Drink Beer on YouTube. You'll see them. There are a couple girls from Kansas City. Really nice people. We've been trying to get something rolling with them for about a year, but COVID sucks.
In terms of beer reviews, like they're spot on,
Polar
right?
opposite of what we do.
But all they do is beer.
They only do beer, but they give you a legit straight up. They try to use, I can't remember what that.
They have like a scale of.
Yeah, there's a thing that scale is called. Anyhow, whatever the scaling is, that's what they use. They'll give you a number version of it.
It's very professional.
Here in about 3 weeks, they're coming through Springfield. They reached out and said, hey, you guys want to get together? We're like, we absolutely do.
Yeah.
So we're going to try that here in about 3 weeks. You're going to see a couple. We're going to do a review for their channel, and then they're going to come on and do ours, which means they're going to teach us how to do
beer reviews
and score them, and we're going to teach them how to take shots. So I think that's pretty much the fairness of it.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
All right. Until next time.
Whether it be the live show that you're doing about every 30 days or so, we'll see you in about 30 days, guys.
The gin you're drinking,
clothes you're wearing,
or the people you're meeting, grab a buddy and try something.
Harold's Bee Company out of St. Genevieve, Missouri.
One more clink.
There you go.
See you guys.
See you guys. Thanks for sticking around.